Jersey Mike's would like to invite you into our stores to try our amazing hot chicken or Philly cheesesteaks. Jersey Mike's now has 19 locally owned Utah stores with 2 new locations opening soon in Taylorsville and in East Sandy, so you're sure to find a store near you. Come find out why our sandwiches have been a sub above since 1956. Order online for quick carryout or third-party delivery options for your home or business. Whether you're looking for catering, lunch, or dinner options, Jersey Mike's has you covered. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. Taylorsville location opening in February and East Sandy opening in March.
Trying to quit smoking? You don't have to quit alone. Way to Quit is here if you need help, have questions, or just need to talk. Tips, resources, and coaches are just a phone call away. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. That's 1-800-QUIT-NOW or visit waytoquit.org.
This is Cougar Sports Saturday. Cougar Sports Saturday.
A presentation of KSL Sports.
Got it for 3! Cougars by 20!
Every Saturday, all year long. BYU Sports Talk by Cougar fans. For Cougar fans. It's Cougar Sports Saturday.
Here are your hosts,
Mitch Harper and Matt Baiamonte. On your legacy home of BYU Sports.
KSL News Radio 102.7 FM
and 1160 AM.
Welcome back into Cougar Sports Saturday here on KSL News Radio. KSL News Time, 12:36 p.m. live here on July 10th. 8 weeks till the start of the BYU football season when the Cougars take on Arizona down in Las Vegas. And then right when football season starts shortly thereafter, basketball is going to be getting practices going. So, folks, we are not far off from sports just being all taking place, all the football and basketball to our heart's desire. And this time of the year, though, is a critical portion to get ready for the basketball season as we get out to the phone line and welcome in our first guest here on the program today. He's the assistant coach for the BYU basketball program, one of Mark Pope's right-hand man. It's Chris Burgess here on the program. Coach, welcome on into Cougar Sports Saturday.
No, I appreciate you guys having me on.
It's always a pleasure to have you on board here, Coach. And so tell us, what's going on right now in the off season now that, COVID-19 restrictions for recruiting and everything that's been lifted? What's the schedule looking like for you guys now that you guys can be more out and about?
Yeah, so we're actually currently in a live period right now, so we can watch some AAU and some junior college live events that are sanctioned by the NCAA. So all 4 of us coaches are out. Coach Pope's going back and forth between Birmingham, Alabama, and Atlanta. Coach Feger's sitting in Atlanta right now, and then heading to Vegas soon. I was in just outside Pensacola for a day, and now in Birmingham. And then Coach Robinson's in Texas, so we're recruiting some high school, watching some junior college kids. It's super refreshing to be on the road and watching these kids. Not because we get to evaluate live, but you just feel for these kids that didn't get that opportunity, in the last 15 months to be seen by college coaches and from all different levels. And so it's just fun to see these kids, run out there and playing their hearts out and trying to earn a scholarship somewhere, right? And so that's been refreshing to be out on the road and see other coaches and not have to be wearing masks. And so, that's what we're doing right now. But our guys, we've been doing some BYU camps. We've been doing our 8 weeks of workout. I think we've done 3 or 4 weeks. We have some freshmen on campus as well, and some of our new guys working with some of our returners, and we're doing those, and we're lifting really hard. Our guys are playing pickup, and obviously we're, it's no secret, right? We got one scholarship to fill that we're being super picky about in terms of what we want to do with this last scholarship and how we want our roster to shape up.
And speaking of that scholarship, Coach, what exactly, from a skill set perspective, we can't talk about individuals, but from a skill set perspective, what ideally would you guys like to find for that last scholarship?
I'm all about versatility, someone that can play multiple positions. Feel really good about certain positions, right? We feel really good about our ball handlers. And Barcelo, Tijon, Hunter Erickson, and even Spencer Johnson, and playing some too. So I feel good about that. I love a versatile player like a Gideon George, right, and a Trevin Nell and a Spencer Johnson that can play. They're a hybrid, right? They can play 3-4. They can play some 2-3. So I'm all about adding depth and versatility. But when I say, when I talked about earlier about being picky, we want a guy who can come in, not just be versatile, but also that's going to help us push us over the top and help us win more games. We don't want to just fill a scholarship to fill a scholarship, right? Like there's a lot of things we really focus on with our locker room and how special it is, and we don't want to bring in a transfer that's going to come in here and sit, right? It just doesn't make a ton of sense. If we're going to bring one in, it better be a guy that we think can get some minutes. We love what we got at the 4 spot, right, with like a Caleb Lohner and some Gideon can play there, and Gavin Baxter can slide over there. We feel pretty good about our 5 spot. So we're gonna find someone that makes sense, someone that brings some versatility to this team, and someone who's going to push us into the top 15 in the country. That's what we want to do.
BYU basketball assistant coach Chris Burgess is our guest here on Cougar Sports Saturday, and coach, for guys like us, Matt and I, we've had the chance in the past to watch practices, and you guys, it's no joke. It's relentless. You guys are working your tails off. Can you describe what summer practices are like? You kind of touched on them a little bit, but what's the current players that are on the roster right now and in the program? What are they doing in these summer practices?
Yeah, so we get 4 hours a week on the court with the basketball for 8 weeks, and so what we're doing is 4 times a week for an hour. It's pretty. So we always shoot every day. We work on our catch and shoot threes, stationary, on the move, different threes we're going to get. We work on finishes every single day, different finishes that are on the basket, whether off cuts, right, whether off a ball screen. When I'm with the bigs, off of rolls, off of kind of I call dunker spot or circle up, so just drive and kick finishes. We work on shots and finishes every single day. We never skip it. And then we work on some shell defense, right, just our basic breakdown of guarding the ball in the gaps, help side, help the helper, being there on the catch with the protect in the middle, high stick hand, not giving up three-point shots. We're working on that every single day. So just shell principles, rotations, talk, see man and ball every single day. And then we're breaking up the last 20, 25 minutes of workouts, and we're working on 3-on-3. We're doing a ton of 3-on-3, our reads. Our offense, a couple of our different continuity offenses, the ball screen continuity, whether it's kind of off the handoff, off the, chase, pass and chase, it goes set a screen and roll. So we're working on a ton of stuff with that, with all different guys, not just Alex and Tijon, but all different guys coming off as the ball handler, coming off the screen, our bigs, our 4s and 5s rolling hard, and then our guards lifting up from the corner. If you guys remember the Gonzaga second half and the UCLA game, right, to end our season, the scout was to kind of trap the ball and send 2 to the basketball, and that guard was kind of all left out to dry. And in watching these NBA playoffs, the NBA does such a good job of that big rolling and then stopping and coming back to the ball and then playing out of the short roll. So we've been working a ton of short roll possessions because, that's something we want to get better at. In our 4s and 5s making decisions when they come back to the ball, and they now we're playing 2-on-3. So we're doing a ton of stuff like that every single day. We get after it still. During those times we'll break down and watch some film individually or collectively. Our guys are shooting on their own, optional pick up here and there. It's just been fun, man. It's been fun to have our guys back. We're still missing a couple guys, but Fusini's out there in Latvia with the U19s right now. He should be home hopefully this coming week. So once we get everyone together, it's gonna be fun to get our hands on them. But that's kind of what we're working at. We're getting after it. Our guys are live. They're talking. AB is running the show in terms of his leadership, and Tijon and Richard, the other couple of seniors as well. They're trying to get these freshmen up to speed because it's hard, man. It's hard being a freshman coming to this level, especially whether you're a return missioner or you're a new freshman. It's just hard because the pace of the game, the intensity, the communication, the physicality is a different level. Right, and we're not stopping. Right, you got to jump on board. You got to learn on the fly, and the faster you do that, right, the better opportunity you have to be on the court.
Coach Burgess is our guest for a few more moments here in Cougar Sports Saturday. And Coach, love that you touched on AB. I think it was no surprise when the season ended that turning your attention to trying to bring back AB and Matt Harms. That he's going to go after that pro career, but take us behind the recruitment of Alex Barcelo, who was the leader of the team last year, and it's just got to be thrilling to have him back for another year.
Yeah, Alex makes you look like better coaches and better recruiters. We're super thrilled. I'm happy. Obviously, we're selfishly happy. Come on, It's no secret about that. But we're also happy for the kid because he came to his own decision. We were very supportive and very informative on all sides with how we can help him through this extra year, because it's new, right? It's just new to us, this extra year that he could utilize. And so, we did as much research and information we could on the G League, the NBA, and what they were going to do. Are they going to get back to normal overseas? What the market looked like for a guy like that? What the vaccine looked like for different countries, and and the resources, and what kind of were they going to get back to normal over there? And so we did everything we could, and we presented to Alex of different things we thought we could continue helping. He can continue to get better at, and our team would get better at. We talked about the potential of the NIL. To a certain extent, right, of what that could look like. And so, at the end of the day, Alex, he felt a little bit of unfinished business this past year and how things ended. And another thing with Alex was, his sister was coming to be a freshman here at BYU, and so he loves his university. And the opportunity for his super senior year to play in front of the fans and be embraced completely, by our fan base, not just at the Marriott, but also on the road, where he didn't, not just him, but our guys didn't get to experience that. And I know this university and what it means to him, that he wanted to, I know he wanted to be a part of that. He wanted to run that back. So we did everything we can to communicate with him every day, give him his space, talk about the pros and cons of everything he was thinking about, and then honestly just gave him more space. And then he came to his own decision, and we were super thrilled about it. And then he's been all in as well, with kind of helping us, from a standpoint of this roster, right, and what it looks like, what it needs, how we can get better. Talking about the guys returning, coming in, and he's just, man, he's a leader. Like, we're going to miss him when he graduates, not because he's such a good player and he can shoot the ball and he gets our offense going and he competes defensively. We're going to miss his leadership, and I'm hoping some of our younger guys like Hunter and Spencer and Caleb Lohner can recognize what he does, learn a little bit from him, and take over the way what he's done, because man, he brings us so many things you don't see in a box score.
Last thing before we let you go, Coach, you work closely with some of the bigs, the front court in this program, and you mentioned Caleb and another guy too, Gavin Baxter. I just feel like these are two guys in the program that have just endless potential. How's Gavin progressing, and what's the limit for Caleb Lohner in this program?
Well, first, Gav's getting better. He'll be, he's going 1-on-0 with me every day. He's doing some stationary stuff defensively with no contact. He's probably close to 80% back. There's no reason to rush it, right? At times we got to slow him down. When in terms of him mentally want to do more, we just got to slow him down and be careful. But he's working his tail off. He's going to be able to play some 4-5 to us. He brings a versatility on the defensive end that we just don't have, right? His ability to guard 1 through 5 better than most guys on our team, right? Like he just can do that. Trying to work with him every day with some, not every day, but the days we're allowed to, with some film and just because that's what he's been able to do, the mental part of the game and how he approaches it. And then just to play and have fun. And I was an injured player in my 3 years at the U, and so I know what he's going through, and you can't worry about those things in the past. Like, you can't think of yourself like that. You just got to go every single day and attack it, right? You just got to, I know it's in the back of your mind. I know what he's going through mentally, but it's just something you can't worry about. You can't control, right? Just do everything you need to do from a corrective, we call them corrective standpoint of all the body work and things that you need to be doing, balance, leg strength, weight room, conditioning. Do everything you can, do that, and go to practice and get better. And so he's been trying to focus on those little things and not, the negative things that have kind of happened in the last couple of years. Just, going to Caleb, the sky's the limit for that kid, as long as he'll keep everything that he's been focused on, at the top of his list, which is defend and rebounding. He's working. He is in the gym more than anybody in terms of just getting shots up. Like every time I get here in the morning, I roll up to the annex. His car is parked out front. So I know he's getting shots up. Like he works on his game. The kid wants to be great. Like he does. You've been around guys that, talk about being great, and you've been around guys that want to be great and show it. Like he wants to be great. He's in the gym every day working on shot. He's been working a ton decision making from an offensive standpoint. Watching film, watching certain guys in the league like Draymond Green, what they do when they roll. Right, we've been watching some guys in college, some fours in college, and their decision making, not just catching and shooting. So he's been watching a ton of film there. This kid wants to be great, so he's putting in the work and he's watching film and trying to build his IQ. He's got a body that's an NBA body. I mean, everyone knows that, right? Like, he's got a fantastic athletic, strong body. So he can pull the sky's the limit for that kid and what he can do. But he got to keep the things that are important still his focus, which is why he played last year. It wasn't his shooting or his scoring, but it was the way he rebounded the ball, it was the way he defended, it was the way he competed. He keeps those things, and he adds some more to his offensive game. He's just going to be an absolute stud in this league. So we're super lucky to have those guys. We're excited about them. We're looking forward to them kind of playing together. So it's going to be a fun offseason.
He's BYU basketball assistant Chris Burgess. And, Coach, we know you're on the recruiting trail, busy guy, and we know your time's precious. Always appreciate it. And before we know it, we'll see the start of practice, and the season will be here before we know it. So appreciate the time as always, Coach.
No, I can't wait, man. I appreciate you guys having me on.
It's Chris Burgess here on Cougar Sports Saturday here on KSL News Radio. More BYU basketball talk after this. It's Cougar Sports Saturday.
I'm Dave Cawley, host of the podcast Cold. Our brand new second season focuses on the 1985 disappearance of a woman named Joyce Yost. Hear her voice for the first time. That's Cold Season 2, exclusively on Amazon Music.